Fossil Generation 6 promises for a nicer design and a lot better WearOS performance. Is it finally the right moment to buy a true Android-based smartwatch? Let's inspect. So, welcome back, nice to meet you, my name is Michael, and what we do here on the channel is inspect fresh and cool tech, with today's episode being dedicated to this. That's the Fossil Generation 6. That's right, the 6th generation of the smartwatch series designed by Fossil. And if you're new to the smart wearable world, let me bring you up to speed with what's going on. I guess the group of people that should be happy the most and satisfied the most are Apple Watch users. That's right, because Apple Watch series have been consistent about frequent updates, about good performance, about health tracking features and all the things that the community actually asked for. On the other hand, Android users like us, we do have a choice and we can choose among different brands, different ideas and scopes. Thing is that the closest in terms of performance and features to Apple Watch series for Android users, those devices based on WearOS like this buddy. But the past months, maybe 2 to 3 years, have been rather disappointing about the amount of updates, about the devices featuring this operating system, about the smartphone apps developed. So this is how many vendors have decided to go and develop their own operating systems, like Samsung has decided to work on Tizen OS. We got Amazfit OS, we have seen Harmony OS on Huawei devices and so on and so forth. But there is a hope, because this year Qualcomm have released a new system on a chip for WearOS devices, namely the Snapdragon 4100, which is a serious speed booster in comparison to the old generation. So one of these watches, which is hosting this new Snapdragon device, is indeed the Fossil Generation 6. The device, I believe, has one of the best looking designs ever. And I gotta tell you, I've been eagerly waiting to get this watch delivered to my home. And I've been using it for like 30 days, 24/7, or not entirely 24/7, because I had to recharge the battery many times. Disclaimer, my own purchase. I have nothing to do with the marketing team of Fossil, and everything you're gonna hear in this episode is based on my close to 30-day experience with the Fossil Gen 6. For around $300, Fossil offer flagship-grade hardware, if we can count the latest system on a chip by Qualcomm for such, given the fact they only have just one model. Actually, two, to be precise. There's the 4100 and 4100 Plus. Why is this so important? Because they are supposed to improve the battery life by far, especially with always-on display. So in the end of 2021, the meaningful WearOS watches that may be considered as high-end devices are three: Galaxy Watch 4, Ticwatch Pro 3 Ultra and Fossil Gen 6. And now we need to find out whether Android users can count on wearables that are at least close enough to compete with Apple's ecosystem. Therefore, unboxing. Some things don't really change much with Fossil. The unboxing experience is good and feels the same way as the models from the past few years. I can't say it's something too exciting, but definitely well presented. I need to confess to you that once I saw it for the first time, I wanted this watch so badly, and it's in my opinion one of the best looking WearOS-based smartwatches ever. Note that this here is the regular black edition with camouflage strap, and it feels extremely lightweight and lets your skin breathe, and is also easy to adjust. Just love it. There are other color options and quite many different kinds of straps. You can of course use your favorite one as long as it is 22mm of size. The design of the watch is close to brilliant. 3 buttons on the side, with the middle one also acting as a rotating crown. Nice metal case with a bright and vivid display. Overall, I think I prefer the feeling and the design of this watch over Ticwatch Pro series. Let's take a look at the specs and set the expectations right for the tests that we are about to perform. 1.28-inch AMOLED screen, stainless steel case, Snapdragon 4100 Plus system on a chip, 300 mAh battery, 1 GB RAM, 8 GB ROM, quite many sensors including PPG-HR sensor and SpO2 tracking, GPS, Wi-Fi, Bluetooth 5, speaker, microphone, NFC, It's actually hard to note down something that this watch doesn't offer. If most of these tech specs don't mean much to you, well, that's totally okay, and usually geeks like me are more interested in tech specs, so let me explain everything in a very easy way. Gonna start with the display. It really looks great. Vivid colors, very bright, even visible in direct sunlight, which is quite an advantage. But in terms of size, if we put it side by side with the Ticwatch Pro 3 Ultra, you're gonna notice it's a bit smaller than what the competition is currently opting for. The battery inside is also smaller, it's only 300 mAh. Again, as a comparison, the Ticwatch Pro 3 Ultra has around 50% larger battery, so you're gonna have to recharge it more often, but there is quick charge technology supported, so you're gonna get around 80% back within just 30 minutes, and that's great. I think, however, the most remarkable part about the smartwatch is the design. It looks a little bit rugged, and this here is the camouflage edition. It's amazing. Probably that's the reason why I was so eagerly waiting to get it in my hands, and let's keep on talking what happened to me within the last 30 days. First, if you're new to WearOS, you can always count on the wizard at the start. After you do the setup, the watch is going to guide you through the main gestures and controls. Since the display is touch-based, there of course are the swiping gestures, up for accessing the notifications, down for access to the quick toggles, left for going through the main cards, and swiping right is launching Google Assistant. Nothing unusual so far. There are the 3 hardware buttons, too. The upper and the lower ones are configurable. I use this for access to the phone calls, and the bottom one has access to the fitness features. In the middle, the crown that I so much like, it enables scrolling, quick app navigation and so on. Maybe not yet as functional as I wish to see it, but definitely getting there, and a helpful tool to navigate without having to touch the screen. Very useful in case your fingers are wet or dirty. Since the hardware and navigation are in my opinion top-notch, let's see about the software side. Well, this is where I may change the tone a bit. It's been rather a struggle. Let me explain why. First of all, the launcher shows 2 small icons and text, maybe because of the rather small display. There's a bit of random bloatware, Nike Run Club, Alexa and a few others, and most of the Google Fit-related apps. Instead of Fossil developing their own app ecosystem, they give you the chance to divide the health tracking between the Wellness app and the Google Fit ecosystem, which, at least in my case, didn't turn out to be such a great idea. There is no leading app where you're going to find all the data parsed and analyzed. Also, there is no integration for most of these values as cards, nor is there the availability of reliable health tracking. For instance, with Ticwatch Pro 3 and Ultra, I knew that no matter what, I'm gonna get detailed data about everything that I enable to be measured, and there are a number of Mobvoi developed health tracking apps which are well integrated with the operating system. Here, Fossil seem to have entirely abandoned the software side and offer close to stock WearOS, and it's very poor. Your best shot for analyzing heart rate, for instance, is the app Cardiogram. Not bad, just okay-ish. Given the fact how far the competition has gone, both Galaxy Watch and Ticwatch series are a lot better in that area. The same we can claim for sleep tracking and SPO2. With sports tracking, the situation is even worse because you essentially have no dedicated section for workouts. Well, unless you decide to go for the Wellness app, where you can track intensive exercises and just regular ones. But not really ideal. You do have the freedom to download third-party apps like Strava, which I believe would be the choice for most athletes. And I used it a few times. What I noticed, it performs well. However, in few of the occasions, it really failed to acquire GPS and also consumes a lot of battery. What I think is a huge miss here, although we do have the choice to get an app that we want, like we have the freedom to install any kind of sports tracking app, I really miss the opportunity to have a dedicated smartphone app with everything synthesized and summarized into just one place. The other roadblocker for good sports tracking to me was the battery performance. Almost every time I wanted to track an activity, the battery was either empty or close to be. It is indeed nice to have fast charging. Fossil promised up to 80% in 30 minutes, and they did deliver, but having battery lasting less than a day is just horrible. The endurance is even worse than the Galaxy Watch 4. In that regard, the Ticwatch Pro series are in their own league with tracking HR, steps and sleep, even if the watch goes into the battery-saving essential mode. Fossil actually also have battery modes with possibility to enable smart battery and turn the watch into just a very extremely basic fitness tracker if it goes below a certain percentage. Performance, on the other hand, is really good. No lags or whatsoever. Speaker is nice, microphone works good, so does Google Assistant, but this battery life is just killing me. To the disadvantages, besides the poor battery endurance, there is no health tracking app ecosystem, no dedicated smartphone app, and I find the price a bit high given the lack of in-house software development. So if none of these drawbacks really bothers you, I would say this could be the perfect and best looking choice for a smart wearable in 2021. But to me, day of battery life is a no-go, so I'm really happy that now I'm going to the next device I'm gonna test for you, and I'm no longer going to use the Fossil Gen 6. And that's quite a pity, because I really had high hopes about the battery endurance. Unfortunately, it looks like that although Snapdragon 4100 is a serious step up in terms of performance, it doesn't deliver the necessary improvements in the area of battery endurance. But never mind, I still think that's a very solid choice with amazing features and something that you can easily go for. And since a lot of people are asking about comparisons to Galaxy Watch 4 and Ticwatch Pro 3 Ultra, I think we had so many references throughout this episode that, well, at least making a comparison on my channel would be not bringing too much of value. And you can of course see most of the details in this provided chart. I really hope that the past few minutes that you have spent with me have really helped you to understand more about the Fossil Gen 6 and also to find out whether this is the right choice for you. And if you have some other ideas, comments or questions to share, please add them to the section below this episode. As usual, link to the product with more information and possibly a discount if I manage to find for you. That's going to be available in the video description. Thank you so much for being with me today. I'm Michael, been such a pleasure, and look forward to see you in the next episode. Bye!